And now it's time for a word from the sponsor of today's event, PCMA, featuring PCMA President and CEO J.C. Scott. Have a listen.
There are over 70 companies providing pharmacy benefit services in the United States, serving over 270 million Americans today. Pharmacy benefit companies provide specialized expertise to help employers, unions, and other plan sponsors navigate the prescription drug benefit and to bring down costs through negotiations against big drug companies and negotiations with pharmacies for higher quality and lower cost. If you have health insurance coverage, the odds are that you have a pharmacy benefit company working on your behalf. I'm J.C. Scott, and I'm President and CEO of PCMA, the National Trade Association representing America's pharmacy benefit companies. On average, pharmacy benefit companies are saving over $1,000 per person per year, which is savings that's delivered back to the plan sponsor and ultimately to the patient. The prescription drug marketplace works well for millions of patients who are able to access the medications they need at the cost that they expect, but there still are pockets of challenge around affordability. Unfortunately, the reality is that prescription drug prices oftentimes are high. We oftentimes see that around drugs where there just isn't enough competition, meaning one brand drug company owns the monopoly in a space and they can set and raise the price at will, which tells us that if we want to address the price of those drugs, we need more competition in the system. The drug company is the only entity that has the ability to set or raise the price. What we saw last year was drug manufacturers raise the price of drugs on over 1,200 products at higher than the rate of inflation.
According to the Department of Health and Human Services, more than 1,200 prescription drugs rose in price faster than the rate of inflation last year.
They have the ability to do that where competition doesn't exist, to improve the patient experience, to improve affordability, but it all has to start with that foundational question of competition. When we look at the areas that there isn't enough competition, biologics is a great example. Biologics are prescription drugs that are made from living organisms, different from the small molecule drugs that we're all familiar with, the pills that we take today. This is a new category of drugs in some ways, specialty drugs that account for over 50% of spending on prescription drugs in the United States, but really only are taken up by 2% of patients. One of the areas that holds promise is the introduction of biosimilars, which are equally effective therapeutic alternatives to the brand name biologic. What we have seen are a number of barriers to entry, one of which is the patent system. There are instances where drug manufacturers are gaming that system to delay entry of competition. We are very encouraged that the Senate Judiciary Committee has started to move forward on a package of bills that would address tactics that have been used to take advantage of the patent system, evergreening, patent thickets. These tactics where manufacturers are filing multiple patents on different aspects of the same product to create a thicket, which creates this shield or barrier to entry of competition. Or they're making small incremental changes to a product as a period of exclusivity starts to run out, and we would say that incremental change isn't actually making the product work any better for the patient, but it helps them reset the clock on a whole new period of monopoly. Those kind of tactics, which the Senate legislation is trying to get at by tightening up the system, are the kind of things that we need to do to truly unlock competition in the marketplace. Once you have that competition, the pharmacy benefit company can step in and leverage that competition to bring down the cost of the drug. It's the responsibility of every stakeholder in the supply chain to come forward with solutions to try and make that system work better for patients. It has to start at the root level with that issue of competition. PCMA has come forward with our own set of ideas, which at a foundational and fundamental level focus on issues of competition, because that's where the price is set. That is where the cost is first determined. Those are the things we have to address at the get-go to make sure that the system is operating fairly so that there's a competitive environment for new products getting into the market. Unfortunately, we have seen a lot of finger pointing from other stakeholders in the prescription drug supply chain. For us, this is about putting solutions on the table that are going to actually address affordability issues where they exist. We're taking a very holistic approach that addresses everything from that foundational question of competition all the way through improving the patient experience, because America's pharmacy benefit companies are committed to an affordable future for patients.
Bye.